pass, and that's intercepted that time by Thomas. Back the other way are the Bulldogs. Thomas for Vanacker. Vanacker dangles, score! A short-handed goal and a beautiful feed by Patrick Thomas.
Take a look at this. Kind of across the middle of the ice is Thomas with a great pinpoint saucer pass, forehand to backhand move.
Help out their goaltender. Avery over the line. His drive off of Gallen's leg. Page to the corner. He's pestered by Avery. Crombie steps in with a hit. Puck delivered up front. Vanacker scores! It comes the fight, but we're going to take a look here. Good job by Avery there. Crombie comes in. Ooh. It was the hit from the hit that Crombie.
On the play. Puck is just lodged at the half boards as the seconds tick away. Comes free, chopped up in the air. Asadorian a wild swing, picked up by Lardis. Here's O'Brien out front for Vanacker. Backhander Lardis scores with 7.2 seconds to go. They can't hold him.
At home in 2024. Yeah, 150-160. It comes off the block of Hamara.
And it was denied. Now Crombie carrying it ahead. Stretching to stay onside was Vanacker. Good job out in front, scores! Quick reply as Jake O'Brien's got another one, and the Bulldogs are back up by 2. Holiday tournament is happening, where you'll find a ton of the best U16 players. As Hamura, nice find, Vanacker scores! Absolutely beautiful there. Marek Vanacker makes it 5-2.
Just insane hands for Marek Vanacker, picking up his 4th goal of the season. This is only his 11th game, which is why the goal scoring total is a little bit low thanks to injuries this season, but just perfectly finds that backhand and is able to tuck it past a sprawling Matthew Kaprowski.
Around the back of the net, Ryerson Leanders shovels it on. Lavoie into neutral ice on the right wing side, working at Diricolo. Sliding along to Prod, stepping up for Vanacker, slot, scores! Beautiful play! Lavoie slides it across the box, and Marek Vanacker, he, still high, stands up. 1-0 Bulldogs.
Well, Marek Vanacker in a bit of a drought since coming back from his injury, but we've noticed the progression as of late, and that is a typical Marek Vanacker goal. Great job here by Protz. And Vanacker right down Market Street. Beats Parsons right over the glove side. 1-0 Bulldogs.
Centered out in front of the net. And O'Brien, cross ice, Vanacker chance, he scores! Marek Vanacker scores! And the Brantford Bulldogs get on the board. We are tied 1-1 for Vanacker, his 6th goal in his 14th game this season.
Certainly the Brantford Bulldogs happy to have that young man back in the lineup again. First-round pick, late first-round pick last summer by the Chicago Blackhawks. O'Brien with a nice feed. Vanacker takes it on the backhand.
Moore, left point, middle of the line is Jedicek. To the left again, Moore. Left circle, Crombie, right across the ring. Vanacker hit the post, back in front, Avery scores! Well, it wasn't conventional, but Josh Avery goes net front, bangs it in. It's his
Brian hustling in there for the Bulldogs. Now in the corner, Vanacker to the right point. Here's Moore, shooting, stop by Ryan, rebound, they score! Luca Testa.
Who spins the puck away. 11 seconds left in the Ritchie penalty. Lardis forward, over the line onside for Thomas. O'Brien, tic-tac goal! Marek Vanacker! That was gorgeous! The Delhi, Ontario gives the Bulldogs a 2-goal lead.
Well, Thomas, Lardis, Juracek, and O'Brien were on the ice. Everybody knew where they were. And then Vanacker sneaks on the ice on that power play right at the end. You can see him right at the bottom of your screen, far side. This puck comes right over to him, backside.
He'll have broken the record by then, I think.
I think so.
Here come the Bulldogs. Breakaway chance here, scores. Beautiful finish
for a 1-0 lead as the Bulldogs capitalize, catching the Storm sleeping a little bit and potting that home nicely is Jake O'Brien, his 24th of the year.
A two-step down the right wing side, nobody touching him. He takes the pass.
Armstrong peels back behind the goal, being chased there by Testes. Be careful, gives it up. Chance, and they looks like it's in. Yes, it's a goal. Vanacker. As Ethan Armstrong lost it right in front of his own goal.
Defenseman, and watch Armstrong tries to walk out in front of it. He ends up paying the price, and Vanacker is going to be able to handle this one, and just great pursuit there by
Kyber came out with his left pad and sealed off that left side area.
Testa driving again, takes a shot, they score! He threw it in front for Vanacker.
Here's how the play starts. Watch behind the goal line. There's where it starts. And it was just a simple pass out into the front of the net area.
Here's Testa. Ahead, it's Vanacker. He scores!
Here it is here, a little pinch here by Turley. No one covering up for him. Manzo committed off to the side a bit too much, but really nice patience by Vanacker.
Rosetta will come back. Quick shot. They score! Marek Vanacker let that one go. And Brantford has the 1-0 lead. One to end the first period, so 4 goals for number 16. Quick shot. They score again. Let's make it 8-7-2. 8-2.
Trying to skip loose off the wall. Drop is Epperson. Out front, taken away by Lardis. Patrick Thomas looking to break forward. Could be 3-on-2. Lardis on the drop. O'Brien, Vanacker make it 4. They score! Tic-tac goal! Marek Vanacker. He saw 3-on-2, said, what the heck? I'll make it 4. And Marek Vanacker to the back of the net. His 13th of the season.
Well, Epperson and Misa trying a shorthanded chance, and then they get caught in behind the Bulldog zone and comes back 4-on-2. And the last man to
Standings, second in the 2 conferences here.
Here's O'Brien. You got to be keeping an eye on him. Chance in front, loose puck. They'll score, and that is Vanacker in front of the net. And the Bulldogs will score first, and they go ahead 1-0 on the power play. Get it with 27 seconds left, and Bulldogs start to battle the clock. It's going to be Hamara. He'll just carry it to the line, dump it off Thomas. Far side, it's Vanacker. In for Lardis, quick shot, scores. And he set the record, 52 on the season, and more important.
Deflected wide. Thomas tapping it onto O'Brien. To the blue line is Hamara. Back onto O'Brien from the right side. Brings it low. Thomas with a look out. Back across the front. O'Brien put it on the tee. Tic-tac goal! What a feed from Jake O'Brien. Back across the grain. Marek Vanacker makes it 3-0. 21 seconds is all it took on the power play.
The 15th goal for Vanacker in 30 games since returning to the lineup. You can look at a replay on here. Just really good puck movement by the Bulldogs. They stretch everybody out. O'Brien, everybody overcommits. Virgilio and Flores just overcommit.
As Moore on to Vanacker in the right circle. His drive! That's a rocket! Marek Vanacker upstairs. They felt that back crossbar ring in Chicago. It's 4-0 for the Bulldogs. Vanacker's second of the game, 16th of the year, and Matthew Humphreys is about to replace Owen Flores in between the Niagara pipes.
That's 4 goals on 9 shots for the Bulldogs. Flores is actually going to head to the room. Back my mind, reader.
One of the best inline players I have ever seen, David Levin. Marek Vanacker kicking it in the left circle. Dealt it across the front. That is a type of hockey of which I know quite well. Hamara to Vanacker. Budnick, left circle. Out front, O'Brien scores! Tommy Budnick on the delivery. Jake O'Brien taps it in. Cole Brown's 3rd goal. As Vanacker over the line to Noah Nelson. Nelson on the drop for Tommy Budnick. Budnick rescues it at the line. Tipped! They score! Oh, it's another hat trick! Marek Vanacker.
Brantford looking for some time and space behind the net. Jake O'Brien centering attempt. Protz. Doherty without his stick, and now it's in behind Owen Flores. So 3-2, Brantford Bulldogs in the lead.
The end of the second period, shot being a puck.
Protz rolls it up ahead, another 2-on-1. Vanacker with Brown. It's a hat trick. Toss him if you got him. What can Brown do for you?
And the puck is chipped to center. O'Brien is there, 3-on-1. O'Brien, this should be fun. Shot, they score. Going upstairs, Marek Vanacker, and it's 2-1. Brantford is in the lead once again.
Counterattack, 2-on-1, swept in front, nicely tied up there by Kluche. Great work on the back check. Papineau sprawling. He'll dig at it. I think he stopped O'Brien. Vanacker in front. O'Brien scores! Out of all the chaos at both ends, Jake O'Brien gets the Bulldogs on the scoreboard first. It's 1-0. On and across, read perfectly here by Vanacker. Might have a 2-on-0 with Rosetter. Vanacker is in. He scores! Marek Vanacker took advantage of all the space. Just seconds later, the Bulldogs double up. It's to the left side. Tries to go back and behind them. Looking for the wraparound chance. Great save. Papineau, they bang in the rebound. It's O'Brien right in the blue paint. Vanacker got it into a scoring area. Papineau one save, O'Brien on the tap in, and it's 4-0. Budnick, home run pass reeled in by O'Brien. Now Vanacker 2-on-1 alone. Here's a chance, they score. Second line does it again. Nicholas Rosetto. They get it right back, and it's
Rosetto. Turley tried to hold the line, but he's lost his stick. It broke in half. Enright's the one-man back. Shot! Scores! That was Vanacker taking full advantage of a broken stick by Enright at the point.
As he gets more experience as well, too.
Now here's a strong rush by Vanacker in behind the goal. Wraparound attempt. A rebound scores. That's Lardis with goal number 71. A 2-1 lead for the Bulldogs.
Brown clears it ahead. Nice toe drag. Backhand shot, and that scenario developing with DeAngelis, the last one back. Lets it go to that side, and they score.
So, O'Brien, cross for Lardis. Shot along the ice. Pickles there, make that Schenkel, and it's pushed over the goal line. A power play goal, and the Bulldogs go up by 2. It's Marek Vanacker.
Shuttles it back to the line. Protz bangs it off the end wall. Stepping down is Moore. Low is Vanacker. Vanacker swings it to the right corner. O'Brien up front. Rosetto scores! Nicholas Rosetto hops onto the ice and has his first OHL playoff goal. Vaughn tracked down by Vanacker. Vanacker along to Crombie. Drive. Scores! Calvin Crombie. A dart from the right wing side. And the Bulldogs agitator extraordinaire.
90 seconds left in the period. Thomas ahead. Vanacker drifting in. Vanacker scores!
Finds the time and space. What a beautiful dish pass to here. Tucks and drags, changes not only his shooting angle, changes his posturing. And
over the boards, had a long change here in the overtime period. Thomas behind the net. Thomas centering pass. They score! Vanacker has won the game for Brantford in overtime. At the 5:29 mark of the first overtime period, Vanacker, his second goal of the game.
Look at Jacob Therrien with the whack to the back of the leg of Tommy Budnick. Hamra floats it in off the line. O'Brien out front. Vanacker couldn't kick it to his stick. Bouncing puck. Lardis tries. Scores! Nick Lardis! 11 seconds into the power play. Bulldogs win the puck net front and miss. Back over to the left side, Hamra with room to skate. Hamra, half wall to O'Brien, high on the left. They'll exchange. O'Brien up front. They score! Jake O'Brien tossed it into the crowd. And the provider is deliverer on that occasion. Oh no, it's going to be Marek Vanacker on the net front tip.
Yeah, but it looked like I thought Vanacker got the tip on that one, but on this sequence you're going to see Vanacker and Thomas just bracketing in front of the goal, and there's a tip by Vanacker.
That's nifty.
Right in between the sticks.
Catches it, right point. Blocked by Vanacker, chance to break. Vanacker speeding ahead of Buckley. Vanacker to the front, his stick is lifted. Ulster turned, and he put it in his own net. The Delhi, Ontario opens the scoring in Game 2. Game-changing speed from Marek Vanacker, and it just rolled through Jake.
Protz will skate away. Hit by Barlow as well. Protz with a good head of steam around the Oshawa goal. Draws all the attention through it in front. 2-1-0 down low. They score. Everyone watching Owen Protz. And I'm not sure what happened to Morelli and D'Amato, but for Haberani, just whistled that one out wide of the far post. Half the power play gone by. Another chance, Vanacker, and he fanned on it. Shooting gallery for the Bulldogs as O'Brien picks up the puck. Gives it back to Hammer, a high slug. Stop, rebound, they score! Marek Vanacker on the doorstep opens the scoring for the Bulldogs.
Take away the threat of Nick Lardis, who scored from a near impossible angle in Game 2.
It's Cole Brown with a drive, scores! Brown backs into the right circle and shelves it.
Never mind.
Tie game.
Vanacker gives to O'Brien for Vanacker. They score. Pretty passing from the Bulldogs. Very similar to the second goal of the Generals. And that's huge for Brantford to get on